So in a way, I guess it's the same thing.
John, you don't do any hybrid picking?
I don't.
Interesting.
No, I don't do that. In fact, anytime I've learned hybrid kind of licks and things and seen people doing it, I have always challenged myself to try to do it without using the fingers and just make the pick do the work.
Right.
And I think that's just from being such a fan of Steve Morse forever when I was younger and just watching him do that. It's like, you have to be able to do that or you're not a man.
He's one of the greatest alternate pickers.
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest right-hand pickers.
I know. So that like inspired me to develop that technique.
Yeah. Devin, what do you practice?
Well, I built a little studio at home, but I've got it wired up so throughout where I live, everything's kind of wired together. So I've got a station in the morning that I make coffee, and I've got a thing where I put the coffee there, and then I've got my looper and a bunch of Helix stuff, or like the Line 6 Helix, the loopers in it. And there's these videos you can watch online of just 10-hour train rides to the North Pole. So it's just a cab view going through.
What?
And then I just drink coffee and I make loops that when I start working at night, I can unmute it in my room and I can say, oh, where were we this morning, right? And like this is clearly not what it is, but it's just while you're watching, you just basically, yeah, this is clearly not what I was meant to do. But you just basically just kind of just like jam while you're thinking about other things, and then eventually things start to evolve that you can then have as a soundtrack to the day. And then, I just drink 3 or 4 coffees and then I let it loop. And then by the time the day is over, there's a lot of material that actually comes from that. So when I unmute it at night, I'll be working on something and I unmute those 2 lines. And I'll be like, oh, that's cool. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Subscribe.